Alright guys, the last video, time-wise it ended before we could finish this one up. I only have 15 minutes to do this. It is a free program I'm using called Screencast-O-Matic. So, sorry that the other one ended so abruptly. I didn't realize I was that close on the time. So on here we had everything typed in. We put it through spell check. You can zoom in and out up here at the top, or you can use your F9 key and you can zoom in and out that way also. Once again, if you want to print this off and see what it looks like and fold it appropriately so you get the idea, go ahead. Otherwise, what we're going to do is save this as birthday party. Make sure you have it saved in your documents. And in this case, we're just going to do a print preview so you can see what that looks like. Once again, you can do this on your own screen, or you can go ahead, print one off, see what it is. Here's your page 1, page 4, which would be the back, so the front and back. Inside front cover on the left, inside front cover on the right. Once again, you'd fold it so top and the bottom meet, so all the information's on the outside. Then fold it so left and right sides meet, so this is on top. Go ahead and save it as needed, and we are going to go ahead and continue on. Alright, so we have this done, over with. You can go ahead and close the file. Here you can see my Screencast-O-Matic that I'm using here. What we're going to do now is skip to page 586. I'll try to do a better job of watching for what you need, or for the time on here. You'll have to go into your data files for chapter 14. I am going to go add that right now because you do need the next data file. Alright, so data files have been uploaded for you guys. The one that you need to open is SOS Quarterly, and you can see up here at the top that I do have that open. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and insert some pages. This is super easy to do. Just go up here to the top, insert, page, and it pulls up this dialog box. And we want to insert 2 pages. Now we have some different options on here. We can put it before the current page, the page that we have up here. After, they can be blank. We'd have it add text boxes for us, or we can have it duplicate everything that we have on a previous page. If we would select that, then we can type in the page number that we want. What we want though is going to just be blank pages. It's easier to work with that way. So new pages, we want 2. After current page and insert blank pages, we'll tell it OK. Now you can see we have our 3 pages, page 1, 2, and 3. Now if we want to delete a page, so delete number 2, you can right click right on it and do delete page, or you can go up here to edit and delete page. And now you can see that we only have 2 pages down here. Whatever option you use, I don't care. Personally, I always like to right click down here, and that's usually where I go to insert pages and delete any of the pages I have on here. So on here we want to add some guides in here, get some layouts going. So what we want to do on page 2 is go up here to arrange, and we have layout guides, and it pulls up a dialog box for us. We're going to change all of our margins to 0.75. Now you can use your arrows right here and go through. You can see it only goes by tenths. What I prefer, type in 0.75 and then I hit tab between each one and it bounces me to the next box. You can see from the preview how these margin guides had changed. Then all you have to do is tell it OK. Everything has been changed for you. So now if you go to page 1, you can see how those guides had changed also. So on here, we want to work on our layout guides again. So once again, that's under Arrange, Layout Guides. And this time we're going to use some grids. And the grids help you line everything up, make it visually appealing. So we just went up to Arrange, Layout Guides, and it's the second tab that says Grid Guides. On here, we are going to have 3 columns, only 1 row. We tell it OK. And you can see it automatically puts in those columns for us on both pages. So on here, we're going to adjust our text boxes and pictures. So our SOS quarterly, we're going to move it so the upper right hand corner is against the margin guide in the upper right hand corner of the page also. So just like what I've done before, I just click in my text box. That way it selects it, and then I go get my 4-headed arrow by being on one of the lines, click and drag. Yes, this is one of those things that some newsletters will have things lined up on the right hand side. Others, they'll center it. Others will put it on the left hand side. Kind of depends on the place. Now we're going to have our outdoor supplies graphic. We're going to move that to the upper left hand corner of the page. So what I did, I just clicked in it, then clicked again with a click and drag to move it up to where I need it. Now we have our little mountain guy. We're just going to click in it, move it so it's in the bottom right hand corner. So now if you look on page 587, you can see we look very similar to what they have in the book. So on here, we want to make sure we're still on page 1. We are going to create a text box. Remember, you can go up here to Insert Text Box, or over here on your Objects toolbar, you can click on it. And in our first column, we are going to start our text box up here in the top left hand corner of the column. We are going to go across and down. Make sure when you go across, it's only to this first line, because they have a little buffer space between each column, so everything looks all nice and pretty in there. Now within your data files, you do have a file named Peace River. I am going to go get it from mine. Make sure when you have this, you have it saved into your data file so you can insert it appropriately. If you do not save it, then you have to do extra work to get it onto your publication. So we'll go to Insert, Text File, and you'll have to go get it. For me, where it's located is going to be in a different spot than yours. You should have it located within your data files. So give me just a moment here, I'll get it up. Alright, we want to use Peace River. You can find it in yours. Here it is on mine. You can click one time and tell it OK. Or for me, I'm a fan of the double click because I don't like moving my mouse too much, especially on the laptop. So I double click on it. Yours will come up with the same thing. It'll say it's going to convert the file, and then it asks you if you want to use auto flow. And with this, you don't have to use it if you don't want to, but in our case we want to create some different text boxes and stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect them ourselves. If you want more information on it, you can see and press F1. That's your shortcut for help. So since we're going to do it ourselves, we're just going to go ahead and tell it no. You can see down here, this is your auto flow indicator or your overflow. So this is the extra text that does not fit into our text box. So what we're going to do is go create another text box. Same process as before. And we just want to fill it in there. And we need to link our text box. So what you're going to do to link it, you're going to click in this first column. You have the links up here at the top. Click on it. Then it gives you this picture, and it looks like stuff is falling out. I like to look at it as letters. You have a K, O, R, T, different things like that. And then just go ahead and click, and it's in there for you. You can see this up here at the top shows the text box that it was linked to. You click on it and it takes you there. So here, clicked on it, took us back to the first one, gives us the same thing, click on it again, and it goes over. Go ahead and mess with that for a moment. Okay, now I'm going to give you guys a warning. My dog is being goofy. So if you hear a bark in here again, it's because Mishka's having issues with me working and not paying attention to her. So on here, we're going to go ahead and continue on. We are going to create another text box. And we want this. So it's approximately, if you read your book, it says 2 inches above the graphic. Now sometimes it's a little hard to tell if you're just eyeballing it, so do your best on here. If it's not exactly 2 inches above, that's alright, don't stress about it. So we're going to insert another text file. Make sure if you haven't downloaded it, you go and do so. So we do our insert, text file, and we're going to use binoculars. You can click on it once and OK, or double click it, whichever. Once again, it's saying it needs to use autoflow. In our case, we'll just tell it no because we want to go create our own. And in this case, we think that we'll be okay by not creating another text box. We'll just try to resize it. So we just clicked on that middle handle at the bottom, click and drag down. You can see it all fits in there. Now we are going to go and save this just like you would before. Make sure it's saved into your file. So file, save as. You can save it as the same name if you so choose. I don't care, that is your choice. This is part 1 of this particular document. The next video will have the next part, which starts on page 588. I don't want to risk running out of time on it.